Meanwhile, on the grand private jet in the living room, Vanessa, Maria, Matt, Justin, and Nate all came in. You certain that it's safe we cannot let our parents think that we're going there? He's right. We have to do this the smart way. Good thing Gloria's husband is letting us use this jet. Speaking of which, we need to get out of here. I don't think so. And as Mimi and Frank came on, and they all saw them. Meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Annie came and saw her husband Scott sitting at the table and went to where he is and sat down, and he saw her. What's wrong? Why do you care? Can we not fight right now? I am worried if that was true, you would have told me about my grandfather. Look, I didn't want you to get, you know what? I can't be mad at you for doing this, even though you are. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the courtyard, David came and saw Michelle sitting in the bench and went to where she is. The service is starting, and as she saw her husband, I know it feels like it's not my place to be in there. Why would you say something like that? Because of last year. I mean, we finally got our son back, even though the rest of our children hate it. Meanwhile, outside the sanctuary, inside, Sharon and Tyler are talking. You're still thinking about your mom. Yeah, I just wish Vanessa would drop those charges already. Hey there! And as Casey came on the sanctuary to Sharon and Tyler, and they both saw her. How long were you? Richard and I got here earlier, so where's mom and dad? Don't worry, they'll be here. We will be here, and as Howard came to where they are, and they saw him. Oh my God, Dad! And as Sharon went and hugged her dad, and as they pull away, I cannot believe you're back. Well, I'm not the only one. What do you mean? And as someone came to where they are, and they all saw her. Tanya, it is so good to see you again. Likewise. Seems the whole family is here. Just in time, and as Richard came on the sanctuary to where they are, and they saw him for the funeral to begin. Speaking of that, we all better go in. And as they all went in the sanctuary, apart from Tanya and Howard, and as he noticed his daughter didn't move. Honey, what's wrong? And as Howard came to where his daughter is. I don't know if I can do this. Meanwhile, in the men's dressing room, Adam is quietly crying, sitting on the couch. And as his sister Isabella came in and saw what's going on, and as she closed the door and went to where her brother is, and he saw her, and as he got up, just in time for them to hug each other. I know. And as they pull away and face each other, I was really worried about you. I cannot believe he's gone. I know. It is so not fair. I don't think I can go in there, if that's why you came. Wrong. I came because I want to spend some time with my brother. Meanwhile, in the conference room, Rebecca is looking outside the window till Sheldon came and noticed his sister, Rebecca, and as Becca turned and saw Sheldon there, and as she went to where he is, and as they hug each other. Meanwhile, in the sanctuary, most of the people have gathered for John Graham's funeral. Let's get to the right first wall where Gwen, Eric, Nicholas, Mary, and Robbie are talking. I talked to Isabella, and we're gonna do a ritual on how we feel. You mean performing? I think John would love that. So, you are doing a musical number? Yeah, it's a good way to express ourselves. Been doing it for quite a long time. In fact, John was the one who began the tradition himself. Meaning, it would be fit to do this in his honor. Meanwhile, in the second row, Hannah and Ryan are talking. What's wrong? You seem really, cause I am. I'm telling you, I will never accept this at all. Hey, no matter what happens, we're sticking together. Family always look out for another. Thank you. I need you to keep telling me that, even though it might sound annoying. I get it. You and I are in this together as a team. And I promise you, I'm gonna protect you along with the rest of my family. And as Ryan has the flashbacks of him and his father John talking, as you know, your mother and I are in the midst of retiring soon. So, we want Dad. We don't have to talk about this, I insist. I need someone who I can trust to look after my company, and I think that's you. And as the flashback ends. If I find out that Mimi, Frank, Linda, and Wayne are responsible for my dad's death, they will all pay. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the conference room, Rebecca and Sheldon are still in a hug. And as they pull away, how's Brian? He's doing quite well. You know, I think we should let Olivia and Carl spend more time with their son. Yeah, Max and Leslie has the best parents in the world. Yeah, they do. Just like Lucy and I are gonna be good parents as well. Meanwhile, on the balcony, Kyle came back and sat and woke Emily. Hey, how are you? I'm doing fine. It was kind of awkward for Rebecca to get up and leave. I hope it wasn't because of us. Look, don't worry about that. She's probably still grieving over your grandfather. Yeah, you're right. And as Emily leaned on Kyle, and as he put his arms around her. Meanwhile, down below in the middle, Aaron, Taya, Carly, and Bobby are talking. Taya, you know Aaron and I will always have your back no matter what. Same with us, and that's never going to change. We better go take our places. Don't worry, Taya. You'll be cleared soon. Thank you. And as Carly and Bobby turn and walk away, heading to sit down. And as Aaron sits on Wong, Taya. You okay? Yeah. I just wish my husband was here. I thought you and her were we were. I'm talking about another person. And as Taya thinking, namely Brody. I know he's undercover, but I really miss him a lot. Whoever it is, I'm quite certain they're on their way as we speak. And as Carly came back to where they are, Mom, if you worry about my dad, and as they all saw her, no. And secondly, I wasn't referring to Howard. I don't know why you hate the guy so much. Why do I hate him? Let's see. How about Carly? This is not the time or place. He's right. Pack it in, Carly. And as Krista and Will came in and went to where they are, and they all saw them. Where's Jennifer and Scott? I don't know. And as Patrick came to where they are, guys, it's about to start. Let us take our places. And as they all went and sat on the front row on the right, just as the minister came in and head to the front and turned and faced everyone, and as they saw, and suddenly everybody gets quiet. Welcome, family and friends, as we gather here to remember the most honorable man who fought war and protect this country. That's right, I'm referring to the one and only John Graham, an honorable person who's fought bravely for his family. Meanwhile, on the grand private jet in the living room, Vanessa, Matt, Maria, Justin, Nate, Mimi, and Frank are talking. How the hell did you know we were here? You all thought you could fool us by what's happening right now? We have no idea, or which I think you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be heading to the place where your mom and I specifically told you not to go. You know, the only difference is, I'm not your son. You married my daughter, did you not? What does that mean? It means he's a part of this family, whether he admits it or not. Wrong, Frank. I would never. You know what? Why don't you tell us why you two so damn worried about us heading there? Meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Annie and Scott are talking. Look, Scott, we came back here so you can pay your respects. I really don't know if I can accept that. I mean, I've been busy a lot of work. We both have, which is why we came back as fast as we could when we heard the news. Well, I did. Thanks. Let's go to the church. And as they got up, but Annie noticed Linda coming in. You go. I'm gonna check on the twins and I'll catch up. Alright, don't be long. And as they begin kissing each other and pull away, and as Scott turned and walked away, just as Linda came to where Annie is. What? Funny. From the way you text me, I thought you in trouble, but it seems to me you two lot are doing just fine. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the courtyard, Michelle and David are talking. Listen to me. Our training is going to learn that everything is not about them. Really? Try telling your older son that. Justin is doing fine, along with his sister Sheridan, alright? They don't seem to think that since they're focusing all our attention on Michael. As long as they don't get into legal trouble, I'm not too worried. We need to be here for Michael. Okay, let us go in. Hold on. Wasn't there something you wanted to tell me? Meanwhile, outside the sanctuary in the front area, Tanya and Howard are talking. Hey, don't worry. We're all dealing with this. What I meant is being far away from Mom. I really miss her. I know you do. Oi, I thought you want to be with your dad. I do, but overall, I just want to be home without traveling. Let's talk more about that later, okay? Come on. Let us go in. Meanwhile, in the conference room, Rebecca and Sheldon are still in the hug. And as they pull away, how's life treating you here? Honestly, it's going quite well. Running a diner, well, it has its limitation. Tell me about it. And by the way, thank you so much for giving me a chance. Seems graveyard shift is doing quite well for you. Yeah, kinda has. Even Michael is getting in the swing of things. How's things going between him and Kristen? It's a long story, not to worry. I really hope they can sort things out. It's kinda too late for that. You mean Will? I gotta tell you, that's not gonna last for long. Meanwhile, in the sanctuary, as John Graham's funeral is now in progress. Now, as we all know, John was very loyal to all of us, and he forever be in our hearts. Let us stand and recite the daily prayer. And as everyone stand up, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us our daily bread, and forgive our trespasses, and as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. Let us pray. We ask you, Heavenly Father, to look after our families with your protection and the love as we say goodbye to our beloved friend. Give us the strength, for we together will get through this. We pray to you, in Jesus Christ's name. Everyone say, Amen. And as Howard and Tanya came in and went and sat in the front row on the right, just a few rows behind Taya. We will now hear our first speaker, John's son, Ryan Graham. And as the congregation applauded, and as Ryan got up and head towards the stage, and arrived and got on, and as he turned and faced the congregation, and as he prepared to make his speech. Meanwhile, at the Graham Baptist Church and the Sanctuary, as John Graham's funeral continues, Ryan is speaking before the congregation. There's no easy way to say on how I feel about my dad, because it's not. He has done so much for my family. I will always be grateful for everything that he's done. I just feel so lucky to be his son, because not only did he defend this country, he kept all of us safe. So, in honor of that, I will do everything I can to protect you, Mom. And as Ryan looked at Ashley, and that's a promise I will stand by to the end of time. And as the congregation began clapping, and as Ryan got down and went and sat next to his wife Hannah, who saw him. That was an amazing speech. Thank you. And as the minister went back to the podium, here's our next speaker, Chris Graham. And as Chris begins, Dad did a lot to protect us, including sacrificing himself to keep us safe, and I forever thank him. Helen Graham is next. He was a man with so many talents. Allison is next, a true hero who laughs at the idea of fear coming towards him. Steve Graham is next. I believe that our dad is gearing up for his next journey in this lifetime. Meanwhile, in the conference room, Rebecca and Sheldon are talking. You really think that we'll go back to Jennifer after that affair only happened because our niece was threatened by other niece? Sounds like we're battling against our own family. Yeah, it would seem that way. And as Olivia and Carl came in, and Becca and Sheldon saw, oh, we didn't know you two. Dude, this ceremony's for I heard about the private ceremony you held at the diner. Only this one is for everyone. Everyone who knew my granddad. Carl is family. In fact, he's John's grandson. Meanwhile, in the recreation room, Michelle and David are talking. I just want to say that I love you so much. I love you, but that's not it, is it? And as Michelle has a flashback of her, David, and Matt talking. I don't know what you're on about, just stop. Clearly, you two must be loving this revelation that Michael is your son and outing it at Karen and Bradley's wedding reception. The thing is, mate, he is. Yeah, only thing, I don't buy it at all. Good, because we're not selling it for the matter. Tell me this, if you two lot are so sure that he's your son, then why did you look nervous when you and Isabella was talking? Let me answer that. It has to do with Michael. So I'll tell you this. I will start investigating this, and if I find out that this was all a wind-up, you two are done. And as a flashback in. Why do I get the distinct feeling it has to do with us coming back here from holiday? Meanwhile, in the men's dressing room, Isabella and Adam are talking. Why does the hero always get burned, and the evil guy seems to have an eternal life living no matter what damage they've done? I only wish I knew. Our dad deserves to live at least a little longer. I know. Believe me, I do. And as Samuel came in, and Isabel and Adam saw him. Oh my God, Samuel! And as Isabella got up and went to where he is, I didn't know you were here. And as they hug each other and pull back, yeah, my parents text me, so I caught the first flight back here. Question is, why aren't you two lot at the funeral? You know what? And as Adam got up and came to where Isabel and Samuel is, you're right. I think we should go because I believe that's what our dad, your grandfather, wants. That he would. And as Isabella, Adam, and Samuel went and left the men's dressing room. Meanwhile, on the grand private jet in the living room, Vanessa, Matt, Maria, Justin, Nate, Mimi, and Frank are talking. Last time I checked, we don't answer to either of you fools. Then why don't we get my parents involved? And as Matt got his iPhone out, dial one number and I swear to you it'll be your last. You're really crazy to think I'm afraid of your so-called threats. And as Matt continued, don't believe, keep doing. You know what, dude? You don't scare us. Really, daughter? Is that how you talk to your parents? Why don't you get the hell off and leave us alone? Fine. Don't be surprised to come back and find out things are different since we have a new crew that ensure our victory. What the hell do you two mean by that? Oh, you'll see. And when you do, the three of you lot gonna wish you didn't side against us at all. Just do one. And as Mimi and Frank turned and went and left the jet, while the others continued talking. Now that they're gone, we can get out of here and continue our plan. Meanwhile, at the Grand Promenade, Annie and Linda are talking. Have you got any of my texts? Yes, I got dozens of them, which is why I'm here. The four of you lot are jeopardizing my marriage. What do you mean by that? Scott got a hold of my phone and tracked down the member, and now he feels like I can't be trusted at all. Your parents give us specific instructions to keep tabs on you. I'm fine. Really? Yeah. I don't want my twins to be fatherless. Scott is my role, and I'll be damned if I'm gonna lose him. Just call your parents and meet up with them after the funeral. Can you at least do that? You know what? That's what started our fight in the first place. Me not telling my husband. Look, I gotta go. He's probably wondering to where I am right now. Don't let me stop you. And as Annie turned and walked away, just as Linda got her iPhone out from her purse and called Harold. Harold, bring the car around. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the conference room, Rebecca, Olivia, Sheldon, and Carl are talking. Wow, don't look so daft. You think just what? All the trouble you and your crew caused by deceiving someone? I did what I have to do. Can you both back off? He's grieving just like all of us is. Look, Olivia, I know that he's your husband. Then you know I don't like people who judge. Now, can we have a moment alone? Really? What do you take this place for? It's Sheldon. It's fine. We were just leaving anyways. And as Rebecca and Sheldon went and left the room, with Olivia came and closed the door and turned and faced Carl. Can you believe the lot of them? Let's not focus on them right now. I have a surprise for you. Meanwhile, in the recreation room, Michelle and David are talking. Look, you can't let what Matt said get to you. He's just trying. David, he is loyal to the people he cares about. Plus, his parents is cops, with his dad being the chief. We'll be fine. Will we? I just feel like every day we're keeping is another day. You're right. Another day that don't finish that sentence, please. Isabella told us that information in complete confidence. Why does it even matter? They're gone. Come on. And as David got up, where are we going? And as Michelle also got up, have you forgotten? We are here to pay our respects to John. We don't even know the dude. We only know him through Michael. Plus, given to what we've done, I'm not too certain everyone wants to see us. That's their problem. Seriously, you mind we watch it from the nosebleeds? Fine. And as Michelle and David went, I left the room. Meanwhile, in the sanctuary, as John Graham's funeral continues, Eric Graham is speaking before the congregation. John Graham will always be known as the best grandfather I have. Nicholas is next. I really wish I got to spend more time, but I know he will always be with us. Gwen Graham is next. He's been the best person, almost like another father to me. Casey Graham is next. He will always be the guy to go to for advice. Kristen Graham is next. I will forever treasure him. Jeff Graham is next. I promise you that your legacy will never be forgotten. We'll continue to hear more of the tributes coming up later, but for now, we will have a special performance. Well, two performances that is, but we're gonna have this one first. Give a round of applause for Mystery 5. Well, one of the members ain't here, but we still have the others, along with one will be taking its place. Here's Rita Graham, Emily Hartley, Erin Goodcharm, Gwen Dawson Graham, and Kyle Hartley. They will be performing a cover song called Don't Give Up. Let's give them a round of applause as they come on the stage. And as the congregation begin applauding and cheering, and as they stand up, just as the minister went and sat down, in time for Gwen, Kyle, Emily, Rita, and Erin to all get on stage. And as they turn and face the congregation, and they all begin performing the song Don't Give Up, which is led by Gwen.
Every day is a battle, it's the same old song. Nothing makes any sense, everything seems wrong. But I'm sure there's a purpose for things are meant to be. I must keep my fire burning if I'm ever to achieve. Remember, don't give up. Always have to keep on trying. You got to give it what it takes. Don't give up. There can be no denying failure to success is too afraid. Failure to success was too afraid. For all my life, I never understood. I gave it my best, it came of it no good. I saw everyone unworthy, we seem to get more than they should. But remember, in the end, God rewards only the good. Don't give up. You always have to keep on trying. You've got to give it what it takes. Don't give up. There can be no denying failure to success. Who is too afraid?
and as the song ends with a round of applause from the congregation. Meanwhile, at the Preston Ridge Manor in the living room, Mimi and Frank are enjoying their brandy. Now that the bait's been set up, shall we proceed, my darling? Well, of course, my sweetness. And as Linda and Harold came in, and Mimi and Frank saw, why don't the two of you lot join us? Glad to. And as Harold went and began preparing Linda and his drink, while they continued talking. So basically, they're gonna head there anyway. Let them. We are bigger fish to fry. And as Harold came back and gave Linda her brandy, while he begins drinking his. You know, with most of John's family at the funeral, I think it'd be a perfect time for us to strike. Patience, Harold. That'd be too easy. She's right. We need to hit them where it hurts the most. Meanwhile, at the Grand Baptist Church in the conference room, Olivia and Carl are talking. What's the surprise? This, and as Carl hid and got a remote that happens to be hidden in one of the bookcases. And as he came back to Olivia and push a button. And as the flat screen began pulling up from the floor, and Olivia saw. What the? I know. Thing is, I know a person who owes me a solid, so I decide to cash in. I don't understand the concept John's funeral is available for live streaming. I know we're in the early stage, but what better way than us to watch it here? You are a real genius. Meanwhile, in the front area, Rebecca and Sheldon came to the door of the sanctuary. And as Sheldon about to open the door, wait! And as Sheldon turned and faced his sister Becca. Why don't you go in? I'm quite certain your wife's worried about you. What about you? I'll be fine. I'm gonna be watching it in the nosebleeds. Let me know any I will. And as Becca turned and head upstairs towards the balcony, while Sheldon turned and head in the sanctuary, and as he went and sat beside his wife. Let's get to the funeral as it continues. Tyler Graham is speaking before the congregation.
I will never forget my grandfather. Him, along with my parents, is the reason to why I came the way I am. Taya Wilson Carter is next. I will never forget him in my life. We will now have that next performance. And as Carly, Lucy, Lauren, Jesse, Bobby, and Tristan all went and got on stage behind the minister. Give it up for these lot as they begin singing the traditional song, Seasons of Love. And as the minister went and sat down, and as they begin performing the song now.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee.
While that's happening, let's get to the balcony where Rebecca arrived and sat in the last row. Just as Michelle and David also came in and went and sat in the row in front of Becca. Let's get back to the action where they're performing. And as Carly, Lucy, Lauren, Jesse, Bobby, and Tristan are singing, let's get on the grand private jet where Matt, Vanessa, Maria, Justin, and Nate are continuing to strategize.
Seasons of love.
Anyways, let's get to the Preston Ridge Manor, where Mimi, Frank, Harold, and Linda are all celebrating by clicking their brandies together. Let's get back to the sanctuary where Isabella, Adam, and Samuel all came in. And as they went and sat in the front row along with the others. Meanwhile, Annie and Scott came in and sat in the last row while the performance is still happening.
Bridges he burned, or the way that she died. It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember.
While Carly, Lucy, Lauren, Jesse, Bobby, and Tristan are performing, let's get to the conference room where Olivia and Carl are watching through the flat screen. And as Olivia leaned on Carl, just in time for him to put his arms around her. Let's get back to the sanctuary where they're performing.
Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
And as the episode ends on the portrait of John Graham,